On threes. Consensus top 10 player in the class, King Gibson, the 5-star kid who is from the state of North Carolina, highly athletic, 6'4" guard who's been playing extremely well for Team United on the EYBL circuit. Recently, actually just said that he'll be transferring to play for Spire and Coach Boyle, making his way to Ohio to play for them. But there was some interesting there's an interesting scenario kind of unfolding with this one with King Gibson being from the state of North Carolina and the North Carolina versus NC State battle. Now, those aren't the only two schools that are in for him. Gibson talked about schools like Providence, Missouri, Georgia, to name a few. But the big ones that he talked about that I just want to get kind of your thoughts on the quotes that he had. I highly recommend everyone heads over to On Three. Jamie Shaw had a lot of good quotes from him in this one, but I really want to focus on the North Carolina and NC State aspect of this. About North Carolina, he said that getting an offer from UNC is important, being from North Carolina and the area. It's been great for me and great for my family, so we're all happy about it. They like how versatile I am, and I am a two-way player, and how that fits into how they play. I talked with Coach Hubert just the other day. He's a pretty cool guy, and I like him. He's got a great personality. I like them as a program. A lot of good words to say about him. A lot of stuff about how important it is and great for his family. Now everyone's very happy that the North Carolina kid is getting a North Carolina offer. Now talking about NC State as well. He said, I learned a lot on my visit about Will Wade. He's got a great personality. I learned a lot about the staff and how they develop and their workouts. Their strength and conditioning coach stood out to me. The way he's developed players and the charts and the analytics that they have are all impressive. I liked it there. Rob, before I throw it to you, I
Mhm.
do want to say, like over the next coming years, it's going to be very interesting to see how this works out because North Carolina is an absolute hotbed for talent, right? And North Carolina is always going to be North Carolina. The baby blue is there. Now you're going to have this Will Wade versus Hubert Davis battle here, right? Even Coach Keats, now even though he's no longer with NC State, he was a guy who was able to get some high level North Carolina players, maybe some high level State of North Carolina players that chose to play for him over North Carolina. So I guess I'll throw it to you for your thoughts on King Gibson's comments, maybe a little bit about King as a player, and then also maybe expand on like what this means, like as far as like an in-state recruiting battle that
Mhm.
may be the first of many.
Can you read the first sentence or two from him talking about UNC again?
So he said that getting an offer from UNC is important, being from North Carolina and the area. It's been great for me and great for my family, so we're all happy about it.
So nothing about the program, right?
He got to that eventually, you know what I'm saying? He said, I like the program. Hubert's a cool guy.
Being a top prospect from the state of North Carolina, getting an offer from UNC, even more so than Duke, because Duke recruits, UNC and Duke both recruit nationally, but Duke is, I would say, more national. North Carolina continues to be a little bit more local. A lot of the guys that come through North Carolina are highly ranked North Carolina players. You see those guys go to UNC more often than not. Getting the offer from UNC, I think, helps stamp him as being one of the best players in the class and one of the best players in the state. There's a prestige within the state that comes with the University of North Carolina and all their national championships and their history of winning, offering you a scholarship. That being said, that's what he talked about first. He talked about with NC State actual things with the program first. I think that's an important delineation to make with this.
This video is brought to you by NBA2K Lab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Now, this recruitment still has a lot of time left in it. I think this year is going to play a major factor in the way that it goes because we're going to see how much success Will Wade has or doesn't have at NC State, and we're going to see if Hubert Davis is able to turn things around at North Carolina or not, because that's going to, I think, change the dynamic here for King Gibson. But I do think his statements are telling in that aspect.
Yeah, and look, I think that, he also went on to say some other things about how he wants to play for a great culture, a coach that's going to be transparent with him, someone's going to be honest and that can develop him. Really, player development with I see a little misspelling there, but on three. Really, player development will be very big for me. I want to be a pro, and you have to get better every day. Look, I love North Carolina. North Carolina's great. Hubert Davis is not the face of player development in my eyes. A lot more things going south in that regard, but that could change really quickly. Have a good year for Caleb, which is it's funny with recruiting. It's like if let's say Hubert has a great year and Caleb Wilson develops, he can lean on that and people can forget about the Drake Powell and the Ian
Right.
Jacksons of the world. It's really about what you can do from lately. But Will Wade's going to be a factor with these kids in the state, and Will Wade has been able to develop guys. Will Wade has been able to have talented guys, and Will Wade was able to have guys develop at McNeese who were not necessarily maybe the best at their last stop. So it'll be a big year for them coming up. I love King Gibson's game. The athleticism is really, really there. I think he's developing into an actual point guard, which is going to be very scary for people. He competes at both ends of the court, which is honestly really good to see. Not only just him in the class of 2027, but I think there has been more of an emphasis of a lot of these guards in these classes actually playing the other side of the ball, which is really refreshing to see. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see which school he chooses from. Just to read the others on his list, I kind of want to get an early take from you, Ralph, on where you think he might end up. So, the schools he discussed, he's also hearing from Duke, Ohio State, and Kentucky as well. But the schools that were
Mhm.
discussed were North Carolina, NC State,
Mhm.
Missouri, Georgia, and Providence. Wide variety there. Anything that sticks out to you with that list?
Missouri likes to get in with the big names. We'll see if they're able to stick. Same
Mhm.
kind of thing with Georgia. Providence is an interesting one to me because I'm going to guess any Providence recruitment it comes with a strong relationship with Kim English because I think that's the selling point because I don't know what Kim English has to offer from an on-court standpoint right now. Right, we need to see what happens with Providence the next couple of years. I think this is a NC State UNC battle at the top right now. I would anticipate those other schools on this list. You said Duke, Ohio State, Kentucky showing interest.
Yep.
I think those schools would leapfrog the other three. Maybe not Missouri if Missouri can show something. Would leapfrog the other three and be up there, or the closest threats to UNC or NC State. But I think the way this seems, that's where it's at right now. Is it's a UNC NC State battle.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see where he ends up, and kind of how his recruitment plays out. But we will have a lot of updates here on the channel as we maybe see our first Hubert versus Will Wade battle. And I'll be interested to see how that one ends. And however it ends, just know we will be there.